Hey everybody, this is day 8. My name is Lee. I had ACDF surgery 8 days ago, and I am doing pretty good. My voice sounds good. I'm eating whole foods. I've been eating whole foods since the day of the operation, but swallowing was a little bit difficult. I had some allergy stuff going on. The swallowing part of it, I would say, as of about 3 days ago, it wasn't much of a problem. Still a little bit, the throat is a little bit sore, but as long as I take my time, I was able to go ahead and eat whatever I wanted to eat. Actually, the allergy thing, I got resolved. I called my doctor just to make sure that what I was thinking of doing wasn't going to interfere with any medications that I was on or anything like that. And so I ended up taking centrazine. I think it's also called Zyrtec. I don't know what it is. You take one tablet a day, and then at night I use Flonase up my nostrils there. And in addition to that, I was using the neti pot. Well, it's actually just a nasal rinse, and I was doing that 3 times a day. And now I'm down to like just once a day. I do it before I go to bed at night, and then maybe one Benadryl. That sounds like a lot of stuff, but what for those of you, this is my first video. When I came out of surgery, I was having no pain to speak of regarding the surgery. My neck muscles were a little bit tight. I had the thing going on with the throat because that's part of it. They have to move things around, so your throat is literally sore. It's not just a sore throat. Your muscles are actually sore from the movement. But that was okay. All of that was livable. But I had allergies, seasonal allergies, and I had all kinds of draining going on, and I couldn't sleep. And I don't think I got more than a couple hours of sleep any night, right after the surgery. So I called the doctor and said, "Hey, what can we do?" And so he said, "Everything I'm going to suggest is over the counter. He said, do this, do this, do this, and this." And these are things that I'd done before and I just forgotten. So I had the centrazine 10 milligram tablets. I had the Flonase for the nose. I had the Benadryl, and I also had the nasal rinse. You can get all this stuff over the counter. And that stabilized it all, and I've slept like a baby ever since. All right. But the reason I'm doing this video now is not so much to talk about the surgery itself. I'll continue to talk about the surgery, about how I'm doing. I am doing really good. But I really want to give some additional information to people who have never had surgery before, or they're concerned about getting the ACDF surgery, and they've been watching a lot of videos, what you should do, and maybe they're getting a little bit scared or they're getting a little bit confused. So first of all, having a concern about getting any kind of surgery is a normal thing. And by the way, I'm not a psychologist, I'm not a doctor, I'm just a person who has gone through a couple of different surgeries in the same area. So everything I say to you is just my personal opinion, and I'm not giving advice. I'm not selling you anything. But it's normal to be a little bit anxious, a little bit nervous. I was still nervous, even though I had gone through this before. And I'd resolved that this is what I needed to do for myself and my wife, and we have the rest of our lives to live. And whatever I can do to kind of further us towards those goals, that's what I was going to do. But I realized that there was a lot of information that I didn't have that actually added to my anxiety because I didn't know what to expect. I didn't know what to do. Was I doing the right thing? Am I missing something? So I'm a big lists person, and if you appreciate lists, then maybe you can create spreadsheets for yourself. I just use my cell phone, and I use the Notes app on my phone, and I created a couple of different lists. And the list I want to go over with you today is the post-op to-do list. So if you want to pause the video and go get a pen and pencil, you can write this down, or you can rewind it and take notes, or maybe you have a really good memory. So I'm going to go very quick. I'll only say a little bit about each one. All right, so here we go. First things first, straighten up your living environment. Okay, clean it up before you go into surgery. I know if you're already in pain, that's going to make it difficult, but to the best you can, at least organize it so that when you come home, that's one less thing that you have to worry about. And also, organize your space so that your space is conducive to you not having to do a whole lot. Put things where they'll be easy for you to get. If there are certain things that you think you're going to do during that recovery period that will keep you occupied and less bored, make sure you have access to those things. Things that normally are up on top shelf, put them at the lower shelf. Things that are in the upstairs bedroom, bring them downstairs, put them in a downstairs closet so you can get to them easily. So those are two things. Clean up your environment so you don't have to worry about that. And number two, organize your living space so that it's conducive for you. The third thing is to get your life in order. And I say get your life in order, I'm not talking about just, like be organized about where you put things. I'm talking about the things that will matter to other people. So if you don't have a will, this is probably a good time to be thinking about having a will. And in that will, it should specify what to do should something not go as planned during surgery. There's always those risks there. No, anything you do, you get in the car, there's always the risk. So I'm not being morbid here. I'm just saying that if something were to go wrong, what do you want people to do? I'll give you a good example of this, and this is a little bit of a digression. During my recent surgery, my wife and I, we both have what we call advanced directives. That's part of our will. It's what to do should I end up in some catastrophe somewhere. It doesn't have to be surgery, and the prognosis is not good. What do I want to have happen? So my wife already knows what I want to have happen, and it's in writing. And the hospital usually will ask you if you have one of those, so they don't do anything extraordinary that's against your will, whatever it happens to be. But here's what happened during my surgery. My doctor was only planning on doing 3 levels. But when he got in there, he realized there was some other stuff going on that he needed to go ahead and fix. And he needed my permission because we hadn't talked about that. But my wife was designated as the person to go to give permission if I couldn't. And she did. Because if that wasn't there, we didn't have that document, he would have had to wake me up and bring me out of anesthesia, get my permission, put me back under, and then finish the surgery. So please go ahead and do something like that. Get several ice packs, all different types of ice packs. Get big ones, small ones. Get ones that can go on your shoulder, some that'll fit nicely on your neck. Get some that'll go all the way across your back in one piece. You can find these on Amazon, CVS, Walmart. You can get them everywhere. Go ahead and stock up on soft foods that you think you might like to eat. Healthy foods, but also some comfort foods that will help you not have to move around and worry about cooking. You're not going to feel like eating a whole lot, but they should be foods that you don't have to spend a lot of time preparing. If you've got other people who will cook for you and take care of you, that's great, but a lot of us don't. So think about that ahead of time, at least for 2 weeks worth of food. Also, think about something that you can wear home that is buttoned down, whether it's a button-down shirt or button-down blouse or some kind of a zip-up thing, because you're going to have this collar on and you don't want to have to pull things over your head if you want to stay modest when you're on your way home. Once you get home, you can take a little bit more time and you can, find bigger clothing and V-neck t-shirts. I ordered a whole bunch of V-neck t-shirts from Amazon just because I didn't want to have to deal with all this stuff. So this is one of them. So you can get them in black, gray, white, whatever you want. Hey, that doesn't look bad, does it? Put some bling on it and I'm all set. Let's see. Also, get yourself a stool. Walmart sells these folding stools. It has a little button. You can fold it up. You can put it right up against right beside the washer dryer. That's invaluable in terms of sitting at the sink and brushing your teeth and washing your face or shaving if you're going to shave. When I'm using that nasal rinse for my allergies, it was great for that. So definitely get some kind of a folding stool, not a folding chair. You want something that's a little bit higher. Also think about or ask your doctor if you might qualify for a handicap tag. You probably, if you're not truly handicapped, you probably shouldn't have one, but sometimes you might qualify given the extensiveness of your surgery, and it doesn't hurt to ask. Let's see. Also, if you're not using the software that a lot of these hospitals use, like the MyCharts, for whatever reason you're not using it, if they have it and they offer it, I don't know what to say. It made my life so much easier to be able to just open up the app, All of my doctors were in there. All the contact information is in there. All of my medications were in there. The doctors can talk to each other. They can schedule appointments between each other. They can coordinate with each other. All my tests were in there. The x-rays, the MRIs, all of that stuff is actually in the app. And I've been to 3 different hospitals in 2 different states, and they all can talk to each other because they are all part of this system. And even if you are part of a medical system that's not part of my charts, for example, there's usually a feature, it's a global feature where you can give other apps and organizations permission to look at your data. And it is secure because they have to follow the guidelines, but I'm telling you that will ease, it keeps you in the loop, and it gives you a sense of control of what's going on. This is you we're talking about. So you want access to information. You're the captain of this ship. So why less information? Get as much information as you can. If you're not a techno person, this is the one time I think you need to bite the bullet and say, hey, you know what? I don't want this techno. I don't want a smartphone. I've never wanted a smartphone. I'm smarter than the phone. I know it. Then get a tablet. Don't think of it as a phone. You're not going to use it as a phone. Get a tablet and put my charts on the tablet. Oh, you don't want a tablet? Then get a computer. Download it to your computer browser. You can open it up on your computer. I know you have a computer. Use the computer so that you have access to information. If you don't want to do any of that, then whoever looks out for you, if it's your best friend, if it's your spouse, if it's your cousin, it's your next door neighbor, find someone who will do that. And if you trust them, let them put your My Charts on their phone. I'm telling you, it will save you a lot of aggravation. Last thing I want to say is give a lot of thought to what you're going to do with the 3 P's in your life, right? The 3 P's in your life are your pets, your plants, and your people, right? So your pets, know what you're going to do with your pets if you have them. You pretty much know how to do all of that, right? I mean, everybody knows, there are places that you can take your pets and, people who will look out for your pets. So, but give that some thought because, with everything else going on, it may be one of those things that just kind of slips by you. So your pets. The next thing is your plants, right? Same thing, who's going to come in and take care of them? Or is there something you can do prior to, maybe they don't need watering, and then your people who count on you when you're feeling, good, may not know that all of a sudden you can't do all the things that you used to do for a while. So what can you do to help make their life easier so that they can help you make your life easier? The other thing too, the normal things like mail, think about your mail packages and things like that. Who's going to get those and so forth. These are simple things, but these are things that should be on a checklist that you get them done. And the last thing I'll say, and then I'll end this video, is try to develop, and this is something that I've struggled with. I think I finally figured out something for me. Try to develop a pain vocabulary, because you'll be in the hospital and they'll be asking you about your pain. And if you have a high tolerance for pain, you won't be speaking the same language as the people who you're talking to. If you are very sensitive to any kind of pain, then you may not be speaking the same kind of language. So they usually rate pain on a scale of 0 to 10, with 10 being the worst pain you've ever felt. My problem when I was having all of this done is I was never in any excruciating pain. I was just experiencing a gradual loss of muscle function and so forth. The pain that I would have was never more than you pulled a muscle or you got a sore shoulder and a little bit of heat, some ice will make it feel good for a while, and then you get on with your life, but meanwhile you haven't fixed anything. So it took me a while to really get a handle on how to speak about my pain in a language that the people who were treating me could understand what I was trying to communicate to them. There are certain words that people use that I know what they mean, but I've never experienced. They'll say it felt like someone was stabbing me. So to me, it's like, okay, it's like somebody took a knuckle and they were pushing it in on my muscle. See, I understand that, and they could probably understand that. I could help them experience that right, if they'd get close to me. So that's pretty much it. Those are all my pill reminders going off. Got to get a smart device. All right. That's it. I'll see you in the next one. Bye.